Good morning, Facebook Live. So we are in week 5 officially. So we're day 29 of Hormone Bootcamp. This is it. This is the training ground. This is really where you're going to be putting pretty much everything you've learned so far and practice. That's really what this is all about. Couple things that I want to point out. Number one, I think that one of the biggest missing pieces out of pretty much every program, every book, everything that I've basically gone through, really is more about that mindset. It's really sticking through, like just sticking with it more than anything. And this is something that I just kind of had that idea when I first started this. And that's one of the reasons why I originally created this contract with myself. And so I want to remind, everyone that's participating, whether live or watching the replay, I started this by writing here, I hereby commit to giving Hormone Bootcamp my all. I commit to my own health transformation, doing what's best for me to improve my health and vitality moving forward. I will arm myself with the nutrients and habits designed to optimize the vitality of my body. So I've essentially shared with you everything that I know that I've done that has helped me improve my health, my vitality, that has helped me with hormone production, hormone balance. And really it's really nothing more than the troubleshooting that I had to go through for myself, I guess, to really figure out what was going on. Because I remember I was told that I was going to have to take hormones for the rest of my life, but no one really was telling me why that was, like what was wrong with me. What part of my body wasn't functioning, properly, I guess. No one was telling me that. They just told me you're going to have to take hormones for the rest of your life. That's just how it is. Bad genetics, take it up with your parents, whatever you want to. But no one will tell me. It's like, well, have you looked at your vitamin D levels? Are you drinking enough water with minerals? Like no one was asking these questions. And so when I started to research and I started to basically put everything together for myself, these were the questions that I was asking, right? I started to, basically research, read books, Google search, YouTube, like all these, I basically went through a lot of research and I just started basically trying to figure out, okay, how does the body produce hormones? Right. And it's a simple process. You eat the right foods and your gut flora basically takes those foods and converts them into hormones. Right. And so if that's a process, then I have to ask myself, well, how come I'm eating the foods, but my body still isn't producing hormones? Right. So like week 6, I'm going to share with you the foods that I ate. But like I said, if you eat those foods and you're still not producing hormones, this is the troubleshooting that I was going through. And so I started asking myself, okay, well, is my body digesting food properly? And if it's not digesting the food properly, what can I do about it? If it's digesting the food properly, then what's like the next missing piece? And that's basically all that I kept doing, just kept filling in the missing pieces. So it started with that. It's like, okay, for digestion in general, you just need water and minerals. That's just key. Vitamin D. Your vitamin D levels need to be at normal levels. That's just a sign of the strength of your gut flora, your gut health. So that's why I went for vitamin D. Nutrient deficiencies. That was basically just something that made sense to me, from brewing beer. I just know that without nutrients, your probiotics, your gut flora, they cannot function, right? So that's where I added that. Week 4 and week 5, basically it's all about cleaning your gut. And this is really more for me to just help my body improve digestion and restructure my gut flora. So this is basically where it gets a little bit more advanced. Now, here's the one thing that I want to point out. Number one, the contract with myself, this is basically something that I know has helped me. And that contract with myself, like I said, I shared with you what that contract looks like for me. But I know that a lot of people that started this program, they kind of like breezed that off as like, oh, that's not really too important. But the contract with myself was really that. It was basically me making a decision that I was going to figure this out and I was going to go through it, even if it's the last thing that you find me doing, basically. Like that's basically where I was at. There was nothing else in my life that mattered more than basically fixing my own health. And that's why, for me, it's not that it's easy to stay on track. I just make it a priority to stay on track. So you have this week, right? This week to really put everything that you've learned to practice. And I want you to consider this. I compressed a lot of information in these last few weeks. But really, if you watch my live videos, I've been doing this since I started doing the live videos. I've been doing this for years, right? So this is basically right when we get to week 6. This is basically what I'm trying to say. If week 6 doesn't work for you, it just means that you didn't give it your all, right? It just means that you didn't really take this as seriously as you should have. And that's basically what I'm trying to share is, I've been doing this. When I started sharing my live videos back in the summer, right around June, all that I was doing was basically that I was doing intermittent fasting. I was, improving my digestion, just eating better foods, restructuring my gut flora, cleaning out my gut, adding more minerals to my body. Like all of this is basically what I was doing. And then I even shared, my, the smoothie that I make that, I know helped me produce hormones, and everything else. So that's basically the main message for today. I just really want to encourage you. Number one, if you have fallen behind, for Hormone Bootcamp, if, for whatever reason, I know life happens, I don't always stay on track. Okay. I eat bad food sometimes. I mean, you can see last week, I told you I ate something that was, triggered an allergic reaction. So that's life when you have autoimmune conditions, I guess. But I guess the most important thing is that I am back on track, and it's events like that make me want to actually even go, be more strict and give my health a higher priority just because I know that I need to fix it. So that's pretty much it for today. If anyone, didn't really take this seriously, I highly encourage you go back to this contract. This, like I said, like I told you in the very beginning, this contract was not a contract between you and me. This was a contract for you and you committing to yourself to basically doing what's best for you. And I think that is such a huge missing piece. It's the success mindset principles. That's why I share some of those videos. And as a matter of fact, I did an anxiety masterclass that has a lot to do with mindset. And I think that, once Hormone Bootcamp is over, that's where I'm going to focus on. So I'm going to take basically that part and I'm going to expand on it because I believe that's what a lot of people are missing is you get started, but you just don't finish. And I want to help more people with that side, right? I want to make sure that I want to hear more success stories. There's people that have already just within the first 3 weeks, just adding water and minerals, vitamin D and some of the nutrients, and they're already experiencing more energy. They're already getting results. Like that's mind blowing. Imagine if you actually did that for not just 3 weeks, but 3 months. Imagine if you're there for 90 days, for 6 months, for a year, what your life will actually look like. How much more energy are you going to have? How much is your health going to improve, right? I want you to think about that, because that's really what drives me is I think about the things that I'm going to be able to do. I have 2 nephews right now. They're like 2 and, about 5 months and the other one's about 5 months. And so I'm thinking, right, when they are, I don't know, teenagers or whatever, and they want to go hiking, right? I'm talking about, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I want to be able to be active and be a part of their life, right? And so I think about that stuff. I want to be able to play with my nephews, not just today or 5 years from now, but 10, 15, 20 years from now, I still want to be active. And those thoughts are really what drives me to really take care of my health and really, make a priority out of everything that I do. So, I'm going to be talking more about that after the Hormone Bootcamp. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy, this week, all that you're doing is just adding the adaptogens, adaptogenic herbs and the Ayurvedic herbs. To start out, you can probably do it with food. So like right now, my lineup for today, I have water. I have my ketogenic smoothie. I'm basically doing intermittent fasting until noon. And then I start drinking my ketogenic smoothie. And anytime after that, I can do my Ayurvedic herbs or my adaptogens. And really, once you clean out your body, once you're a little bit more advanced, what you can do is you can actually start taking your adaptogens and start taking your Ayurvedic herbs while you are fasting, and just see how it goes. If you are clean enough, if you're not too toxic, they're just going to be that much more powerful. But initially, it may just be a little bit too much. So it's recommended to start out with food and then just work. Just keep working it. This is kind of like working out. You just got to practice it and keep doing the activity. So that's all I've got for today. Hope you guys hope you guys have a great week. Give it your all. This is it. This is your 1 week before we go to the final week. So, all right, everyone, have a great start to your week, and I'll talk to you later.